Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and welcome to another episode of Toilet Side Wrestling Talk. Today's guest hails from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and began wrestling in 2004 for such promotions as the NWA, IWA Mid-South, Paradigm, New South Pro Wrestling, Southern Underground Pro, United Pro Wrestling, to name a few. He's the current and two-time New South champion. He's also the UPW United States champion currently. Share the ring with the likes of Kevin Ryan, Ron Bass Jr., Cabana Man Dan, Gary J., Matthew Justice, Brian Pillman Jr., Mance Warner, Eric Stevens. Again, I could go on. If you want to check out his matches, head over to IWTV. So let's welcome today's guest, Kings Road Slayer, the real deal, Derek Neal. Hey, Derek, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, Brad. How are you, man?
I'm doing fine. Happy Star Wars Day to you.
Absolutely, baby. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, so did you do anything to celebrate this? I just found out it was Star Wars Day earlier this morning.
No, I didn't really get a chance to today. I was hoping to get a chance to watch Empire Strikes Back, but
Nice.
Kind of got in the way. But a nice little Star Wars tip. For several years, up until I changed my music, maybe about 3 years ago, I did use the Imperial March remix by Rage Against the Machine as a walkout song.
Oh, that's awesome. That's perfectly appropriate. That you should have somebody walk around with like a boombox behind you all day today. It's like your theme music.
That would be pretty dope. That would be pretty dang cool, wouldn't it?
I've been trying to watch. Is the last one? Is Rise of Skywalker? Is that the last one? For some reason I ended up seeing that in the theater. So like I've been trying to watch it at night, but I'm only getting like 6 minutes at a time. So it's been taking me, because I fall asleep. It takes me forever. Do you have that Disney Channel, the Disney?
Yeah,
Plus?
the Disney Plus. Oh, absolutely, yes.
That thing's a gold mine.
It is, dude.
We just got it 2 weeks ago, and I can't believe that I've gone the whole pandemic without having that.
Yeah, it's helped us keep our sanity around this house.
Yeah, seriously. Did I read that you're a zombie fan?
Huge zombie fan, yeah.
Okay.
I kind of fell in love with that as a kid, and then I was really big into like the original Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
And I had all the Resident Evil games for PlayStation when I was younger. I still play them occasionally when I do get time.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Who set you on the track for that you even saw these zombie movies to begin with?
I think it might have been just my love for horror in general. A lot of people don't know this, but John Carpenter was actually raised here in my hometown of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Oh, really?
So yeah, like if you go back to the Halloween films, like Warren County is the county I actually live in. Smiths Grove, like the sanitarium in the movie, that's actually a town about 10 miles north of Bowling Green.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the city names and things like that, or a lot of street names and stuff that are referenced in the films are real street names here in the city of Bowling Green. What a lot of people don't know, John Carpenter, he was born in New York, but his father actually took a music director job here at Western Kentucky University. So, John and John's dad, his parents and John, they moved here when he was just a few years old, and he grew up here.
Oh, okay. So like a lot of his background is from they draws from there.
Yeah, because he was a music major for a short time at Western, and then he dropped out and went to film school in California.
So is Western Kentucky also in Bowling Green?
Yeah, Western Kentucky University is in Bowling Green. Yes.
And is Bowling Green University there as well?
No, Bowling Green University. That's in Bowling Green, Ohio. I know that gets a
Okay.
little bit confused, but yeah, it's up in
No,
Ohio.
but Western Kentucky's a big school.
It has it's really grown a lot in probably the past 10 years. It's kind of taken over our town a little bit.
Oh, really? So
Oh man, they've been building up like crazy.
is it like a college town?
Yeah, Bowling Green is pretty. You can pretty much call it a college town. Yeah.
So, but that's nice. At least it keeps it young and fresh.
Oh yeah,
Where you
absolutely.
live. I just moved to a college town last year, in last March during the at the start of the pandemic, and but I haven't been able to experience it because no one could go out. There'd be no live music, nothing like that. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping this summer I can get out and kind of be around like the students and stuff and feel young
Yeah,
again.
that would be good. Yeah, it's a nice little vibe here, but it's also like a really good town to to raise your family into.
Sure.
It's kind of the best of both worlds in that regard.
Do you watch Walking Dead?
Yes, I do. I kind of stopped watching around season 8 though.
Uh huh.
One of actually my one of my the man who trained me, his son actually did some extra work for them. He was brought on the show a few times as a walker, and then he was even a whisperer for a couple.
Oh,
I think
really?
for season 8 and 9, maybe. If my
That
memory
must have been
serves me right.
fun.
Yeah. He spent a lot of time in Georgia, so
Yeah, and it's hot as hell. How do you think you'd fare in a zombie apocalypse? Because
I
I
think
always
I could
think that I do
survive.
great.
Yeah, I think
What
I
was
could
that?
survive.
Me too. And there's a part of me, and I don't know if this says anything about me, that kind of one day hopes something like that goes down. I have my weapons already, picked out, and I think I would do. I think I'd be able to take care of my family. It's a challenge that I kind of want.
Yeah, it would be very interesting if it happened for sure, no doubt.
Yeah, I sometimes think that like I got vaccinated the for the COVID thing, and but sometimes like I was thinking about before I got it, like man, maybe this is what turns everyone into zombies, the ones who've gotten it, and my dreams will come true. All right, enough about me. What slash where is King's Road?
Kings Road, that's actually more based on the Japanese style of Kings Road wrestling. That
Okay,
is a big, heavy influence as far as my wrestling style.
okay,
I really modeled it after the Gaijin wrestlers in all Japan, from anywhere from the late 70s all the way to the 2000s.
mm-hmm,
Like your Stan Hansons, Terry Gordy's, Steve Williams.
sure,
That's kind of how my wrestling style is. Or I don't know if you know who Dylan Hales is or not.
mm,
He Dylan Hales, he kind of works with IWTV a little bit, but he
okay.
dubs me Redneck Tenru. He says I'm very similar to Tenru's style as well. But I've really prided myself on that style of wrestling. That's been my favorite style of wrestling ever since I discovered it. Once I broke into professional wrestling.
And did you was when you were growing up, did you appreciate that style as well? Like, did you gravitate towards that, or like
I
the
didn't really
current?
get to see too much of it as a child. I was obviously more raised up on like WWF and WCW. I did get to
Okay,
catch I live here with me living here in Bowling Green. There used to be something called Music City Wrestling in Nashville that was quite popular. They had TV on UPN
oh,
when
okay,
I was a kid, so I used to catch that a lot on Saturday mornings. And I was able to get some older Memphis stuff on VHS. My grandfather
okay.
was a huge wrestling fan, so he
Oh,
watched a
awesome.
lot of Memphis and a lot of wrestling from the Nick Gulas era. That was back when the NWA was king,
Yeah,
as you
yeah.
would say.
It's heyday.
Um, but I didn't get to see too much of the Gulas stuff, but he did have some of the Memphis stuff, recorded on VHS, and I did get to watch some of that when I was younger too.
Where would shows be when it would come through your area?
Here in my area, there's an old pavilion on our fairgrounds here, our county fairgrounds. I used to watch shows there.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a bar and grill type of place that I've watched shows at. It was called Silverados.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a pool hall here. It was like a pool hall, dance hall type of venue that had wrestling there too.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, that building's where I kind of started. Getting introduced to professional wrestling as far as breaking into the sport.
And what did that involve? Did that involve going to help out at shows?
At first, I just come to the shows, and then I got to talking to the promoter, and I talked to another wrestler, and he pretty much got me started at first,
Uh-huh.
and then once he got me started, they kind of closed down shortly after that, and then I was kind of getting, I was young and naive, and I was kind of getting the wool pulled over my eyes, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
As he was still wanting me to pay him money, even though he was not training me. And then and then I end up coming across somebody else
Uh-huh.
by the name of the headliner Chris Michaels, and he ended. Oh, well, sorry about that.
No, I don't care.
We'll just stay over here. Well, I guess my daughter's going to join in. Say hi.
That's fine. I should say to you, actually, and I forgot to tell you this, if you hear screaming in the background, my kids are safe. They're just playing normal, okay? But, that's they're completely safe.
But yeah, I ended up meeting the headliner, Chris Michaels, and I told him my story, and he ended up finishing me up on training, actually charging me a very minimum amount.
Oh, wow.
Just to help me out, explaining my situation to him about what happened.
Okay, so let's, we're in this area. Let's go back a few years. When did you grow up in Bowling Green?
Yeah, I did grow up in Bowling Green.
What was your personality as a kid? Were you physical? Were you an introvert?
It was kind of weird. I was kind of introverted as a child, but I did like sports. I mean, I had friends and I liked sports. I was really selective who I pitted myself around, as a child. But I did have some really good close friends, and I was really big into football. I even played hockey growing up.
Oh, wow.
I played that all the way up until I was an adult. I was even playing as an adult up until it was more just recreational, but I played. I think the last time I've been on skates, it's probably been close to 5 years.
Oh, wow!
Things just.
But is that like riding a bike?
It is. I mean, you kind of don't forget it. I mean, I think when I played in 2016, I kind of had a gap, even like it was 2 years previous before 2016. So it took me about a half a game to find my legs, but after I found my legs, I was good to go.
That's not bad at all. And did you have friends who watched wrestling?
Oh, of course, yeah, all kinds.
Oh, wow. You know what? I usually get the answer no. I didn't have any friends who liked it. That's awesome. So you had an outlet to talk about what you just saw on TV.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. I had a lot of good buddies in elementary school and junior high. I even had, it was very few, but I had some even in high school, we'd watch wrestling together. So yeah, we always had, we'd always talk about it at school all the time, especially growing up in the Attitude Era,
Yeah, that's true. And did you say your grandfather was into wrestling?
Yeah, very big. He was actually probably my introduction to professional wrestling.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
What was that?
I was gonna ask you about that. Who got you into it?
Yeah, it's definitely my grandfather. He was a huge fan for several years.
Hold on, can I ask you a question? Did she just go to the other side, or am I crazy?
Oh no, she's right here.
Okay, phew. I was like, oh, wait, when did that happen? Like, I thought maybe I blanked out or something.
No, you're fine.
So was it? So you played football in high school?
No, I did not play football in high school. I
Oh,
played from my elementary school years all the way till I think I played up until seventh grade. I was doing
okay,
both. I was doing that and hockey, and then hockey just kind of took over.
okay. And did your high school have a team, hockey team?
Uh, we just had a recreational league
Mm-hmm.
here in Bowling Green, so we didn't really have
Sure.
school teams.
Oh, that's
I
actually
kind of
better.
played two different types of hockey. Here in my hometown, I played roller hockey, which is on
Okay.
inline skates. But I would travel to Nashville, which is only Nashville's about 45 minutes south of me, and I would play
Oh, okay,
ice
not
hockey
bad.
down there. So I would
Mm-hmm.
between ice and inline, I'd play hockey year round.
Did you ever go to the Predators games?
Oh yeah. I followed them back when they were terrible in '98.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Let me ask you then. What team are you like a fan of other sports other than hockey?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What teams do you follow in
Um, as
Kentucky?
as far as far as like college sports, everybody, it's University of Kentucky around here mostly.
Okay.
Um, I'm a little bit of a black sheep. I'm actually a University of Louisville fan, so
Okay.
there's
Okay.
not very many around, especially in Bowling Green. I think I'm probably the only Louisville fan in my family. And then
That's actually good for the one time they beat them. You know,
yeah,
when they beat Kentucky.
and then as far as baseball, the closest major league club we have is the Reds. So like I've grown up watching them, and I'm
Okay.
still a fan of the Reds. And then hockey would be the Predators.
Mm-hmm.
The in football, it's a little different for me. I'm actually an Eagles fan
Oh, okay.
with football. And then
How how
I'm
did
trying
you
to think of
become
what
an
else.
Eagles?
Huh? What was that?
How'd you become an Eagles fan?
I don't know. I
Okay.
just started
You're just born
following.
that way.
Yeah, I just kind of started following the team whenever I got introduced to football, and just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's the bird thing, like
It could
the
be.
Cardinals, the
It might have been
Eagles.
that because whenever I started getting introduced to football, I was probably, I don't know, maybe it was 7, 8 years old. You know.
Okay. Okay, so you're in high school, you're playing hockey, doing well. At what point did you have plans to do something other than wrestling after high school?
Yeah, my actual plan was at the time, uh, University of Louisville. They actually had it was a Division III hockey school,
Mm-hmm.
but I was actually going to go up there and walk on and try out. And then my junior year of high school, they actually the school actually cut the program for
Oh,
budget
jeez.
reasons. So I think I might have been about 3 weeks into my junior year, and then I decided I was going to go ahead and start training to be a wrestler. So
How does that go over at home?
my mom was very supportive. My dad, not so much. I think my dad was more or less worried about me getting hurt more than anything.
Okay.
Um, but my mom was very supportive of it. My dad was just kind of whatever, at
Was
first.
it was that important having like your mom's blessing
Yeah, I
at
think
that
so.
age?
Yeah, it was for me. I was very close to my mom. Still I am.
Yeah, yeah. We'll come back in a second. Does your mom will she come to see your matches?
She's only come to watch me about 2 or 3 times. I've scared her to death every time.
Oh, really? Why have
Yeah.
the matches you've been in like been like when she's there like especially like hard hitting?
Yeah, or I take being especially when I was younger, take a crazy bump or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'd scare her, and she wouldn't want to
So
come back for a
so
while.
wow. Okay. All right. We'll get back to that. So okay. So you're what 16 or 17 when you decided that that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I actually started. My first day of training was actually about 2 weeks before my 17th birthday.
Wow. At what age will they start training people? I mean, that's really young.
Well, it's a lot different now in Kentucky because it's in Kentucky it's a commission state,
Okay.
and it still was a commission state when I started, but you didn't have to have a wrestling license to begin training during that time. You do now, so you have to be 18. Now,
Oh, okay.
I was able to start before 18, but whenever I was ready to actually begin, like wrestling, actual
Yeah.
matches, I'd have to travel to Tennessee because I was too young for Kentucky.
Who would take you to Tennessee? Would you drive by yourself?
Yeah, at that time I was able to drive, so I would just drive myself.
Okay. And that was like, was that an overnight trip?
Usually not. I was wrestling in the Nashville area
Uh-huh.
or northern Tennessee, so my drives was an hour or less.
Oh, okay.
So it
Not
wasn't
bad.
bad at all. Nah.
So you were saying earlier, I'd asked you like if you like go to shows, help set up, and then you were talking about that trainer who did do the training part.
Yeah.
Did that experience sour you towards
Um.
like
It
continuing?
it kind of did at first until I met my the man who ended up finishing me up and actually
Uh-huh.
taught me wrestling. At first I was soured, and I was a little skeptical even starting with him. I thought,
Hmm.
the first, at first, but after the first session, like I could tell he was really actually trying to teach me things and why we do certain things and stuff along the lines of that in the ring. And then, that kind of helped me restore some trust in somebody.
Yeah. And did you learn anything worthwhile from the first trainer,
Not
or did
really.
everything need to be fixed?
The only thing I really, I mean, just the very like basic moves, like a hip toss, arm drag, you know, a couple of basic maneuvers, and learning how to bump, and that was about it. That's
Did
all I
you
really
think
learned
you
from that guy.
did you feel before you were going to your first training that you were physically ready to do it?
Oh yeah, I thought I was.
You thought you, and then like how many minutes or hours, I don't know, into your first train did you like, oh my God, like my body has never
um,
done this before?
I I gritted it out, and I didn't really feel it until the very end because I mean it got to where I was like dry heaving. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, my very first session was just ropes and turnbuckles, and I literally had rope burns on my back. Like you can make out the top and middle rope on my back,
Oh my
and
God.
it did not heal up until the day before I had to go back
Oh, really? Jeez.
again. Yeah.
But now your body's used to that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But does it still hurt? Like when you hit them?
Nah, not anymore. I mean, it's you got to think. I started at right before turning. Like I had my first actual professional match at 17, and that's kind of where I say I've really started my career is from my first match. So, um, looking at it that way, I actually just hit 18 years this year as a professional. I'm 35.
Oh, wow.
So
That's awesome.
my body's pretty calloused to all this stuff now.
Do you still feel like as energetic as you did, when you were 17, 18 years old?
I do. Now don't get me wrong. I've had periods where I have felt drained. Mostly that was due
Yeah,
to just
sure.
nagging injuries and things like that, just kind of piling up on you, and it kind of brings you down. But other than that, like especially in the past 2 years, like it's 2020 until now, like
Mhm.
this is the best I've felt in years.
And so I noticed you've been obviously with less restrictions, like you've been ramping up your amount of matches you've been having. Like, are you now planning on, for stuff for the summer and the fall and 2022 at this point? Like, is it like
Yeah.
getting big? Like, there's more opportunities?
I do have some more opportunities coming up. I can't really say what they are just yet.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure they will be made public here before too long.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I got some stuff coming up. It's gonna keep me pretty busy, especially going into the last half of 2021, and it's gonna be a little bit more a lot more windshield time, being on the road and stuff.
Sure.
I'm pretty excited about the opportunities that are coming up. Now, as far as 2022, I don't really have anything set in stone yet.
But does
I'm
that
hoping,
seem like 2022 is like when everything's going to be fine again? And
yeah,
like you could.
that's what it seems like. I mean, and if everybody, does their part as far as getting
Mhm.
vaccinated, and all those things, I think it could really happen.
Sure, sure. All right. Back to I want to talk about your first match. The morning of your first match, were you nervous? Like, when you get up, you open your eyes in the morning. Are you nervous, excited, looking forward to, dreading wrestling?
I couldn't sleep. I was very excited for that first match. I was nervous. I was really nervous about, not performing well. But I was excited at the same time.
And did you have people coming to see the show, like that were going to be in the audience?
Yeah, I had a couple of friends, and my mom was actually my mom come to my first match also.
Oh, okay. Um, so have you watched it? Your first match over?
Yeah, I did. It was, I had a lot to work on.
Yeah. But have your kids seen it?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Have your kids perchance seen your first match?
No, my kids have not. It was, I don't have a VHS player anymore, so
Yeah, that's the problem.
but and DVDs kind of dying out. I tried to get it to DVD, but I just never had a chance to.
Do you let your kids watch wrestling?
I do. They watch it quite a bit. Especially my two older sons really do. And one thing I've really enjoyed is I've got to introduce them to a lot of the older stuff. As far as wrestling goes, even the older All Japan matches, cool. And they really like my second oldest. He really loves Jim Crockett era wrestling.
Cool.
So yeah, we've watched a lot of that, Mid-South and Memphis and Dallas. And
wow, you're lucky that you did it right. You got the two boys to
I tried.
have this awesome interest.
Yeah, I tried.
Is your wife? Was she a wrestling fan at all?
Not really. Honestly, she didn't know that especially the independent wrestling world. She didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
She only knew of just WWF.
Did she know you as a? Did she know what you were? What you were? What you were? When she met prior to meeting you, did she know?
Yeah,
that guy's
okay. We had some mutual friends, my wife and I, and when we first met, I was 19, so I was just like a couple of years into professional wrestling. And she knew she knew I loved it, and she knew that's something I wanted to do ever since I was a small kid. I knew when I was younger that's what I wanted to do, but I was going to try and play college sports first.
Okay.
But yeah, she's supported me through it for. Well, we're going on almost 15 years of marriage now in July.
Wow.
So.
Wow, congratulations. 15 years, geez.
And it's hard too because by profession, she's a nurse practitioner. So her being in the medical field and me doing what I do, sometimes, she is kind of hard on me about it. But but she still supports me.
Because she's saving lives. I mean, you're entertaining people and in a way saving lives, but oh gosh, is she working a ton?
She stays pretty busy. With the pandemic last year, she works in cardiology. So a lot of the patients are older and, they stopped coming to their appointments last year. She was furloughed there for a little bit, but things have been back to normal since. She's worked a full schedule since August last year, though. So,
are you guys ever home at the same time?
Very, very rarely. Maybe for a few hours in the evening.
Okay, like to watch TV and then go to bed.
Yeah.
And then, so is it hard having 4 kids as well?
It is a challenge. Our kids range anywhere from 13 years old to one. So, and and two of our our three older kids, they have activities through school and they play
Yeah,
sports. So, um, we stay
it's
really
constantly
busy
running
during the
around.
week. Yeah, I mean, like Monday through Friday, we have something school related or sports every
Do you
week.
guys have any help or anything?
My mom does help quite a bit. My parents
Totally.
do when I need them, but yeah, most of I mean, I would say 70% of the time it's us.
Does your wife have any opinion as far as the timeline of your career?
Not really that I know of.
Okay.
I can't really think of anything offhand. She's
Where
like
she
I
said,
said.
"You listen. I want by age 39 or 40. I want you transitioning into like."
Yeah, to think about it, she always, I know in 2019, I kind of thought about getting out at one point, and the reason for that was I just thought I could do. I did everything that I thought I could. I thought I hit my ceiling. So I was kind of entertaining the idea of of stepping out and not completely out of the wrestling business, but in an active in ring role. I did
Sure.
entertain that idea, and she kind of made a joke that I would never retire. So but I mean, I've kind of looked at maybe just seeing if I can do 20 years and just see where I'm at, and
Oh, okay.
just kind of
I
playing
mean,
it by ear now.
did
Because
the
I mean, I
pandemic, did like the layoff from that like recharge you at all?
I think it did. It helped a lot, especially with my training as far as cardio and exercise and things like that. I really ramped that up a lot during the pandemic, just because
Uh huh.
we weren't wrestling, and I wanted to do something. So I mean, I've always stayed in the gym, throughout my ever since I started training as a wrestler. I
Do
started.
you,
That was the only reason why I ever hit a weight room, because I wanted to be a pro wrestler. So
that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, would you be going to the gym if you weren't a wrestler? Like, is going to the gym? Do you enjoy going, or is it like I have to go to the gym because this
oh
is my
yeah, I
career?
do enjoy it. There's some days I don't, and I just make
Uh huh.
myself go. But I kind of had that day yesterday. I kind of made myself go, but by the time I got halfway through it, I'm like, I'm glad I showed up.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
started feeling better. But I don't know if I would be or not if I wasn't wrestling today.
Hmm.
I started getting in the gym the summer before I started training. So and then now it's just where I've been doing it so long. It's just a way of life now.
Yeah. So okay. So you're the New South champion again.
Well, former New South champion. I just lost
Wait,
it
what
Saturday.
happened?
I lost it to
Just this
Cabana Man
weekend?
Dan. Cabana Man Dan finally beat me. I lost it.
Oh my god! I can't believe this. I didn't. Well, this stuff on IWTV. I didn't see that show on there this weekend.
It hasn't premiered yet, but it will soon.
Damn.
It was a hell of a match, but it won't be the
I
last you've seen of me. I
I
promise.
bet. Okay, good. Oh my god, that drives me nuts now.
I'll
Okay,
cash in
but
that rematch clause.
my questions are still gonna remain the same. So you'll win it for a third time. Um, is it a lot of is it more fun being champion or a lot of pressure like for a promotion?
Honestly, it's a little bit of both. And I kind of like the pressure. It keeps me on my toes. It makes me want to work hard.
Yeah,
Especially with my last run up until just now losing it. I was working with a lot more younger talent that just needed a chance to show what they had, and I'm
sure.
glad that I got to get in the ring and help those guys accentuate that,
Yeah.
and help them level up. That's been my favorite thing as being the champion, is being able to do that through the open challenges.
So you don't like there's no like jealousy, not jealousy, like is it weird competing kind of with people that you like, that are your friends?
Yeah, it can be at times, but at the same time, it's enjoyable because, like, like with those usually with those kind of guys, where you are friends with them and you do know them, like you got that chemistry together to go out
Mm-hmm.
there and make some magic. Get some people emotionally invested in what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so is it is it are there rules that you're given when like you win the belt for the first time? Do they say you can't do this with it, this, or is
Um,
it's your responsibility? You can do whatever you want with it.
yeah, I was really never told what I couldn't do with it. I definitely, like, if I was at any other promotion, I definitely try to be a representative of the company because having that championship, I'm the face of the company. They're
Yeah.
they're depending on me to be at the forefront and carry the ball and run with it. So like anywhere that I could, any other promotion that I would perform at, if I could, I would always ask if I could take the belt to the ring and things like that.
Uh
Just
huh.
and I and the Hoss jacket as well from where I won the 2020 Hoss tournament. I would always have those things on with me to the ring, just to try to be a representative of
Sure.
New South Pro
Now,
Wrestling.
does this you come home with a belt for the first time? Is this impress your wife at all, or is it still just you? You know,
Uh,
like,
she said it. She said it was the biggest thing that she's ever seen. She she kind of made a joke about it. I want to say it might have been the other day. She says, "I'm glad it ain't taking up space in the house no more."
oh really? Oh,
I think so
that's her
big.
angle.
She's just making a joke. Is
Did you
she's
guys
a
ever
kid.
like watch TV on like a Friday or Saturday night and you wore your belt? Just like not like drawing attention to it, just sitting around wearing a championship belt.
Oh no, I've never done that. But the kids, my kids love to hold it.
Oh, I
It's,
bet.
and
Do
that
you
thing
let
like
your
thing's huge on them. It's big on me. I mean, on them, it's ginormous.
yeah, totally. They get their head through it. Did do you let them do you ever practice moves on them?
Actually, with one of my sons, he's actually a pretty good technical wrestler just from where I tried stuff with him.
Really?
Yeah, and revert, like he's pretty good at it.
Okay, I'm sorry I keep coming back to her, but is your wife okay with this?
Yeah, it don't bother her too much.
Okay. She's not nervous, like someone's gonna get hurt, God forbid, knock on wood.
No, 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 no.
Okay, okay, good. She sounds like a great pro wrestler wife,
Yeah,
you know?
she's been pretty good. Been very good with me for putting up with my crap for this long.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. Um, yeah, so whenever you give your Hall of Fame speech, she's gonna get like a good 5 minute portion, about her.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if I get anything like that, yeah, she definitely would. Yeah, she would definitely get a good piece of that.
All right, two last wrestling questions. One is, do you love wrestling as much as you did when you were 17? Still, is it that
Honestly,
still a thrill?
I feel like I love it more now. And it's which is crazy to say. My love for it over the years, like it did kind of wax and wane a little bit, throughout
Mm-hmm.
time. But now, and maybe it could have been the pandemic. Maybe it could have been where I started getting a little bit of notoriety on the independent wrestling scene. But
Mm-hmm.
but it's made me appreciate it a lot more and not take it for granted when at times I did.
And and then the flip side of that, is there anything that you see it's like I don't like the business is going in this direction?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
I've always, because I mean, I have been around, 18 years. So, to some guys, I'm kind of an old head, if you will. But I've always been able to keep an open mind to everything. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I've been able to do what I've done. I mean, even these past couple of years, I've been on a pretty good run as far as stringing good matches and things together. And I think it's honestly, it's where because I'm kind of a throwback in the ring, and the way I operate. But with when I'm working with these younger talents, I'm able to adapt to their style. To
That's cool.
where they can accentuate their strengths in the ring. And I think where I've been able to adapt like that, I think keeping the open mind has helped me do that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, you have to adapt. Like time's not going to.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, and it's not just wrestling. It's just every facet in this world is going to evolve. And it's up to you whether you're going to adapt or get left behind.
That's a very good point. All right. I have. Can I ask you 5 non-wrestling related yes or no questions?
Sure.
I don't think there's anything too risque. I usually clear them with my wife first, but she wasn't around, so cross our fingers. Okay, so the first one is: have you ever become a boxer and then have your best friend get killed in the ring by a Russian, and then you flew to Moscow on a Christmas day to box this guy for revenge? Has that ever happened to you?
No, but man, that'd be a heck of a story.
It would be. Can you fold your tongue? Like, yeah, you got it. There you
I
go.
can do it. Yeah.
Okay. This isn't a very timely question, but I didn't know you before you got married. For $700,000, and would you legally marry a horse, but you could never get married to a human again?
No, I don't think I can do
that. Let me throw one little twist in there. You could adopt your current children, but your partner would be a horse. So I guess your wife's out of the picture at this point. $700,000.
I'm just going to smile and say no.
Perfect. Oh, perfect. I understand what you say. Okay, is there ever a circumstance where you'd install a stripper pole in your house? Could you ever see a circumstance where that happened?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you're 4 for 4. Okay, and the last one. Have you ever gone coffin shopping with someone as a preemptive measure for the person who's like 100% healthy?
No, but that would be a good gag to play on somebody.
Yeah, totally. Be real creepy. All right, so we're getting close to summer. Where do you have bookings coming up?
Yes, I do. Actually, when's this going to air?
This will air on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Okay. So let me think back here. May 22nd, I will be in Dyersburg, Tennessee, for Pro Wrestling Mid-South. May 29th, I will be in Chattanooga, Tennessee for TWE Wrestling. And then the 30th, I will be in Huntsville, Alabama for New South at the Furniture Factory. And then June, I will be in all through June. I want to say it's the 5th, the 19th, and the 20th. I'll be wrestling for New South. May 21st, I will be at Terminal Combat for Paradigm Pro. Be me and Lord.
Oh,
Crew.
Cool.
Me and Lord Crew. We're gonna throw down.
Awesome.
And then I got some other stuff coming up in July. I can't announce yet on one of those, but it's gonna be a pretty big.
That's awesome. It sounds like, yeah, you have some great stuff planned. Do the children, as it gets closer to summer, will they be attending any of these?
Probably not right now with the pandemic, and they're not vaccinated yet, especially.
That's
being
true.
under the age of 16. But I'm my older sons used to come with me a lot before this pandemic happened. So
okay.
I'm kind of hoping when things kind of get normal again, maybe they can come out on the road with me some.
Have all your children been inside a wrestling ring before?
Only my oldest 2 have been.
Okay. Just check that out. All right. Well, head over to IWTV to watch his matches on New South. I obviously have a lot of homework to do, and I got to check the schedule. Do you guys have IWTV?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's essential. This is the question I wanted to ask you. I'm sorry. Tell your daughter I'm sorry them dragging this on. Is it cool being on TV?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Actually, one of the really cool moments for me this year was when I wrestled in Tampa at Family Reunion against Dan. Defending the Mid-South Championship. My boys actually got to watch the match here back home. So
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
was really
awesome.
neat. Yeah, that
Like
was
my
really
dad's
cool.
on
I got to see
TV.
that. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, totally. You must be like a superhero in their eyes. Or do they not
Yeah.
treat you like that? They
They
treat you
thought it
just
was.
like some.
Yeah, they thought it was really cool, man. They really did.
Do you ever have to remind your kids that you don't work for them? I find I have to do that a lot.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Okay.
You gotta let them know who takes care of them. You know.
Yeah. I just they don't take me seriously, but that's something I have to work on.
Especially my oldest, I do it like now he's a teenager, so he thinks he knows everything.
Oh yeah, so he's invincible. Also, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. I know how that is.
Derek, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Tell your daughter, thank her for her patience. I appreciate that.
Wave to the
Is she
camera,
playing
Rob.
with a phone?
I was playing with a
Bye. It
kid
was
thing
nice
right
seeing
now.
you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, man.
Derek,
Appreciate
you
it,
take care. Hope everyone stays healthy, and I will be looking at your matches as it comes. The next one comes through on IWTV.
All right, awesome, man. Thank you for the time today. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Anytime. Take care.
You too.